Yeah.
Coach, when Jamal went down and Tyrek went in, you not played a snap in the regular season game on defense. What's that like for a player, and how do you think he handled that moment?
He had some big eyes on the sideline. As a coach, you kind of like just want to be cool. You don't want to freak him out, but every young guy, you get baptized in this league. We knew he was smart. He had a good training camp for us, and you're going to grow. But the main message is, welcome to the club. That ain't going to be your first touchdown you give up, but just keep on swinging. Especially at that position, you got to have a short-term memory.
You've done this a couple times, but in terms of the challenge of preparing for a quarterback and all that he can do, what makes Lamar Jackson unique that way?
First, you got to pray. You just got to pray. You got to hope and just wish, and it's going to take a group effort. I mean, even the free safety, everybody's going to have to be responsible for him. At the end of the day, when he drops back and decides to run, it's going to be a challenge. And when he does get tackled, it's a shoestring tackle. So that's when the prayers are going to be needed. But we got a nice plan for him, but his athleticism, him being a quarterback, we at his mercy at times, and we just got to do a good job. Can't let him kill us.
Is there anything that makes him more effective than being able to have a Derrick Henry in the backfield where he can just, he's got you stretched both ways now?
And he's developed into a great passer. So, you understand why he didn't win multiple MVPs. When he is running the ball, he has running back vision. That's what makes it tough. He's slippery, and everybody knows how fast he is. But it's going to be a collective effort to try to slow him down.
How much did Kansas in getting Winfield back, how much does that just make your defense a little more whole and feel comfortable back there?
But normally when you got first-rounders out there, you feel a little more comfortable. But those guys are definitely talented. We know what Winfield brings. Kansas still climbing, still learning in this league, but we're going to need his athleticism.
The number of sacks has increased over the last 2 or 3 games. What are you seeing out there that has kind of led to the Bucs getting after the quarterback?
Well, it go hand in hand. On the back end, that plays a major role in getting sacks, but they come in bunches. A lot of guys can win often, but the quarterback threw the ball, and so we just got to keep punching away. But up front, those guys want to get sacks, but we just got to keep punching at it.
Elijah Kansas do very well in the pass rushing games as a lineman, but being a run stuffer is also important in that aspect. And the Ravens have a great run offense, obviously with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, but as a run stuffer, how do you see that aspect of his game improving? And I know he just got back, but what are some of the things that you look for a young player like that to try and improve in that area?
Well, you got to keep his natural ability going. His quickness. Use your quickness, your strength. And you can make plays. You can be effective in the run game. Tackle for losses, putting pressure on those guys. But the more he plays, the better he's going to get. He's not the biggest guy, so he got to get ready to take some pounding, some double teams. But he just got to use his athleticism and make plays, and just don't sit back and just let him beat you up. But, he's a dog, and he likes it in there.
Tyrek Smith, as a rookie, just keeps making big plays, spot plays, playing a lot of different roles for you right now. I think he's that chess piece that Todd talks about a lot. Just how rare is it to find a guy that's that mature to start his rookie season?
We knew coming in when we were scouting him. We played major ball. He transferred into Georgia and played a lot. That tells you a lot because those guys get number 5 stars, so the smarter guys play. You look at those type of schools, and he's just above. He understands the game. He sees it before it happens. He's like Winfield. He's a small guy, but he's strong. You put them DBs and wide receivers, and ain't too many wide receivers can block him. And he's doing a great job for us on the perimeter. And that's where the game has changed. They just took it out there on the perimeter, and they're making nickels and safeties, corners, play linebacker essentially. And he's doing a good job for us. And he has a good knack for blitzing.
What can you say about Chris Braswell's development to this point?
He's growing. He's growing. He's learning. He's understanding that NFL is different from college, even though he played in the SEC. But you see a lot of flashing going on. And those young guys, it's tough because week in, the game plan changes. It ain't just like training camp where you just sit there seeing the same offense every day. So week in and week out, the game plan changes. but he's growing. We like what he brings.
Is it? I know there was an adjustment, at halftime of the Atlanta game because they wanted to bootlegs and get him out on the edges and stuff. And so initially Todd said those guys outside linebackers were kind of playing coverage. And with Lamar, I would think you want to keep him in the middle of the field as much as you can. How hard is it to say, get off the ball or go get that guy, but don't lose contain? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of a.
We call that double talk. We call that double talk, make up for our coaching. But it's tough because you want to tell them guys, you got to rush, but you got to rush with a little, control. But we got to get after him. I mean, it don't matter what you do. You sit back, Lamar can kill you. You go after him, he can kill you. You got to make plays. We got to have plans. We got to work together. All 4 of those guys, or 5, we bring in. You got to be conscious of it. Even zone droppers, you got to be nosy a little bit. You got to be able to see the quarterback because, he's dangerous when he's dropped back. But we got to just play our game and see what happens.
It's difficult to play man against him because if your backs are to him, he's 15 yards down the field.
Well, we got to do everything.
Yeah.
He's the MVP. We got to do everything. We got to zone. We got to rush him. 0. We got to do everything. But we got to make plays. And that, as a coach, it ain't a cop-out, but human element going to have to kick in. Yep. At the end of the day, I tell my guys to, pick them up, mess them up, and make sure we win.
All right, thank you.
See you guys.